So as you start to run your career, you may be a victim of the third mistake, which is having multiple personalities. Or you have one face you present at work where you're very happy to do your job and you're doing your work day in and day out. But then at home, you're complaining about those lack of opportunities. You wish you had more money to do more things. You thought or hoped you had more time to go on vacation and spend time with your kids and your wife or your husband or your spouse and go and do those things. But because you're working at your job and you have to do your job, you don't have time for those other things. But are you creating opportunities that are going to enable you to do those other things, right? Do you live to work or do you work to live? There's a distinction there. There's a difference. There's a difference. If you're working to live, that means you're working to gather a salary to pay bills versus living to work. Let me take that. So if you're living to work, then day in and day out, you're going to work and you're living to do that job. Versus working to live, you're doing that job so you can live the life you really want to live. And that's the difference. Knowing what you want, building the plan to get there, and then taking action and being honest with yourself. And then once you're honest with yourself and what you really want, then you can articulate it to other people so they can help you get where you want to go. If you're currently in a supply chain career field, one of those, you're just beginning and you're hoping that one day you'll be a director, but you haven't taken the steps to be a director, be a vice president, be a CEO, then how are you going to get there? What is it you're going to do? Once you know what you want, you can tell your boss, my ultimate goal is to be a chief executive officer of a company. The first thing they're going to say is, well, you're in supply chain management, that's probably not going to happen. What you know, based on research, and when you do the research, you'll discover that a lot of chief executive officers are starting to come from a supply chain background because they understand the supply chain itself, all the hiccups, the resistance, the friction, the things that prevent companies from being more profitable. Is this starting to make sense? So having that goal, let's just say you want to be a CEO. You're going to be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company or Fortune 50, or you're going to be the CEO of your own consulting firm. Whichever it is, you're going to be a CEO, right? So let's make that decision right now. And you need to tell yourself, I am going to be a CEO. I'm currently the CEO of my career, and I'm going to run my career like a business. I'm going to evaluate the value I'm going to give to my employer, which is also value I can give to a client as my own consultant client, which is ultimately going to build my brand, build my mission, so people get to know who I am and what kind of expertise I bring to the table. So you become that CEO, and you're honest with yourself, you know that clarity, and you start telling people. So when they ask you, well, what do you want from your career? You can say, without a doubt, I plan to be a CEO one day. And they say, oh, great, that's a CEO. What do you mean? And then you can tell them, I plan to be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, and I need to do this, 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 and this. And you, Mr. Boss, is going to help me get there by giving me these experiences. If they say, well, no, that's not really going to happen here at this company, now you know that you need to go find another opportunity at a different company. But if you sit back and you wait for those opportunities to come to you, I can tell you, you're going to be waiting a long time. So don't suffer from multiple personalities. Don't be one person at work where they don't see the value you bring to the table. They just simply take for granted that you're there every day and you execute the job that they're paying you for, which is absolutely okay. That is not a problem. But when you want something more, they can help you get there. And once you tell them what you want, they can look for those opportunities, because there's always an opportunity, especially in large organizations. They're looking for leaders. They need people to do things, and they want to give those opportunities to people that want them. And if you don't step up to take that opportunity, then someone else from outside the company is going to come in and take that opportunity, and you're going to say to yourself, well, I could have done that job. Why'd they bring that other person in? And the answer is simple. They didn't know you wanted the opportunity. You never told them. You never told them, right? So you have to step back. Think about what you want. Be clear on what you want. Build your plan and tell people your plan, and being honest with yourself and them, to when they're not serving your needs to get to that next level, then you'll take it upon yourself to go find the opportunities to get to the next level that you want to get to. Does this make sense?